Hello and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today we have a fun showcase to go over, and it is the Hot Wheels 2023 D-Case Super Treasure Hunt, the Lotus Evija. So let's go ahead and take a closer look and see if this one is worth the time and effort it'll take to track one down. And before we dive too much into this one, I want to go ahead and thank the one who sent me this, JM Hagerart, over on Instagram. I was not looking forward to try to track this one down, and before I could even come up with a plan, it arrived on my front porch, and thanks to him. So huge shout out to him for hooking me up with this model, and let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into it. So let's go ahead and start looking at this thing in the depth here. And as you can see, it is pretty nice. We're not really going to go over the casting itself because that has mostly been covered in my review of the initial release of this casting. That being said, though, there are some details that we're going to go ahead and cover, so we'll go ahead and get into that. Mostly it's the same, but we do have this nice TH logo back here, which is a fantastic spot to put the TH logo, in my opinion. It's nice and kind of hidden, but in a spot where it's natural, where you might expect some sort of decaling to be on a real-life supercar with this sort of design. The other big difference between this one and the first edition is that we do not get taillights back here on this version. If I go ahead and bring in the initial release, you'll see that we did get taillights on this one. See the red peeking out there? And that is just not something that we got on this one or the regular version of this one. So there's a couple differences in the detail category. Paint and deco, that's what we're really here for, because that's the biggest difference. So we've got this nice, absolutely fantastic Spectraflame red, which looks really, really good. It does stand out from the mainline version pretty well. If we go ahead and bring in the mainline version, there's actually two variants of it. So here is the kind of standard one that you'll typically see next to it, and then there's actually a darker paint variant. So let me go ahead and bring that one in here as well. So as you can see, depending on which paint variant you have will depend on how close it looks. If you get the darker paint variant, which is actually the rarer of the two standards, it will obviously look a little bit different. And then if you get the more traditional or standard version of the typical mainline, it's going to actually look a lot closer. But both of these, while they look really nice, the wheels are a dead giveaway that it's not the Super. And then obviously you just don't quite get that metallic shine that the Super gives you on either version of them. So it really is kind of worth the extra time and effort to look for the Super, I would say. With that being said, though, what would I have done differently with this particular release? So I would still have used these 10 spokes, but I probably would have gone with black instead of chrome. That being said, though, the chrome do look really nice, and I do like them quite a bit. But the big change I would have gone with is this interior piece here. I would have made it red as well, to kind of blend with the paint like it would on a real-life Evija in most cases. And I think that I would have left the mainline version with the black accents, because that would have been a really cool and unique way to differentiate the Super from the mainline that you don't typically see with Hot Wheels releases. And I just think it would have been kind of unique and a cool little thing to add. Moving into our roll test, we do roll, and we roll very, very smoothly. So, for our strengths, the biggest strength that I'm going to give this casting is obviously the Spectraflame paint of any Super Treasure Hunt. It's always going to look super nice, but these 10-spoke wheels are the other big strength, I would say. I think that was the perfect Real Rider choice. The color of them, not as important. Just the 10 spokes themselves are just, oh, I love these wheels. And for some quick size comparisons, here we have it next to some other electric supercars with the Hot Wheels Rimac Nevera and the Matchbox Tesla Roadster concept. And here we have it next to the other variations of the Evija with the dark main line of the red, the standard version of the red, and then the original first edition in green. So with that, it is now time to give my overall final thoughts, and I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9.6 out of 10. I think that it is a basically perfect, and it's definitely going to be my favorite super of the year, just because of the casting itself, obviously. I think red is also a really good color for Spectraflame. I think maybe yellow for the main line and maybe gold on the super would have been the only color I would have said would look better on this casting, personally. The only other thing I would have changed would actually be the main line itself. I would have made it more of a bright red to make it even more differentiate between the super and the standard. But with what we did get, it's not horrible, especially the dark version. There's enough variation and uniqueness to me that I can live with it. The wheel choice is, as I've gushed on about, is absolutely fantastic. I think even though I prefer blacked out wheels, the chrome does look nice and clean and gives it an exotic car feel. So I do quite like that a lot. The placement of the treasure hunt logo is very sleek, very nice, not distracting in any way. I really like that. And yeah, overall, I would say this one is definitely worth trying to track down. Obviously, I would never advise to go pay a scalper, but if this is one that you find in the store, I would say absolutely take every single one that you find. And that's all I have for this showcase, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this super treasure hunt. And I will go ahead and see you in the next video.